How's it going, everyone? Today we have the Dumbphone 2 with the latest update now in October. And the reason why I'm making this video is because this update has increased the quality of the device by a lot. It's usually a great device and I enjoy using it, but now it's even better. And for those of you in rural areas, it's going to be a game changer, which I welcome it even in my area where I don't have great coverage in my personal apartment, but now I do because of Wi-Fi calling. So let me go over a couple of changes that have been made, aesthetic and also under the hood. So the first one is in this page, there used to be a write button right here. Now you have a contacts button that allows you to get to your contacts faster. So for example, there's my brother. And if I want to compose a message, I can just go right there and I can say, hi. And that's a faster way because I'm able to find him faster. You can also compose or search, of course, contacts whichever way you want. Contacts with S right there. You have it, and then you will compose, of course, the text messages here and there. So you have this ability right here to get faster to your contacts. And I think my brother replied. So he says, hello. There you go. You can also make a phone call, of course, from there, and kind of like find it faster. So that's a welcome improvement for usability. It's faster to get to do things. And instead of writing, and it used to be like this, so you go to the right page and then you have to find the contact. Now you can just scroll, and especially if you have, contacts that are at the top of the list, then, or a very few amounts of contacts, I need to prune my list, then it will be easier to find the people that you want to connect with. On top of that, you do have another very good usability experience, which is the Bluetooth. So the first thing that was changed is now Bluetooth does not get turned off whenever you have airplane mode on. So it used to be that you had to keep the phone on in order to keep all of the Bluetooth. But now if you take airplane mode, now you can keep Bluetooth on, which allows you to listen to something on a flight or places that you may not have good coverage. But on top of that, you also have Wi-Fi configurations. As you see, I lost some coverage in here. And the good thing is that I'm getting a little bit better coverage in my area, but it's still not great. But now we have Wi-Fi calling. But before we go to Wi-Fi calling, I want to show you something with the Bluetooth. So Bluetooth improvements as well is that it now can remember multiple devices. As you see here, I have the Jabra Elite 7 Pro and the Open Move by Shocks, which are my running bone conduction headphones. So I have them right here. And if I turn them on, let me see. There it is. I felt the vibration. And here are my Jabras. So I can put them here. And now I can connect to the Jabras, reconnect. And hopefully it will connect without me having to put it on my ears. Let me see if I can put one and it will reconnect automatically, because I don't know, like sometimes they need to. Oh, there it is. So now there is the connection to the Jabra's Elite 7 Pro, and it's the symbol right there shows you. But if I want to connect, if I want to disconnect these ones, now I can just go here and I can go to Open Move and reconnect to the Open Move without having to re-verify or reconnect it with pairing a new device, which now has a new place here at the bottom, which allows you to pair a new device. So you can change connections pretty seamlessly, which again, I think it's a very welcome improvement. And as you see, I have both headphones here. You can not do both at the same time, but you can do one of them at the time and then switch it. And if you have different connections here and there, it remembers your devices and you don't have to go to pair it again and go through the whole process. Of course, you can still find new devices and pair them here with the pair new device button. Of course, it's going to find whatever is in your area. And after that, you can pair it to those devices and go on and so forth. But the Wi-Fi calling is the most noticed improvement here because I'm really excited that it works. As you see, I lost coverage right now. But if I go here to Wi-Fi, I turn it on. And then it should connect to my network. And it's remembering better now. So there's a lot of little improvements here and there. There was right there an antenna. I don't know, for a flash of a second, you could see it. But whenever you lose coverage, I'm trying to lose coverage. This here in my table, sometimes it gets coverage and sometimes it doesn't. But whenever it loses coverage, it shows like a little antenna as well at the top. You can go to phone, preferences on the settings. You can go to phone, and then you have Wi-Fi calling right there. You also have roaming and a couple of different things, but you have right there Wi-Fi calling, and you can put Wi-Fi preferred, cellular preferred, or off. So if let's go back to bother my brother. You can go here, Aaron Briones, and boom, right there, making a call. It will go through. So either through your, right there, it dropped the signal because it went to Wi-Fi preferred, because I said Wi-Fi preferred. But when it has the ability to do cellular, it will do cellular if you do cellular preferred. I think this is a great usability improvement, especially for those of you who are in rural areas and may not have great coverage, but now you have the ability to use Wi-Fi calling. Now, I will mention that this is only with devices or carriers that allow Wi-Fi calling. So you're not going to be able to have this on a carrier that doesn't allow Wi-Fi calling. So you have to call your carrier, make sure that it's enabled on your account. I have Verizon and it has been working, and I also have T-Mobile and it also has been working. So I didn't have any issues. I just called Wi-Fi calling in very low coverage areas, and I haven't had any issues with that. That's just my testing, but your carrier may differ, so make sure to check that out. Then there's other little, stability improvements and things like that. Direction seems to be a little bit faster. Inside is still wonky, it still won't get it. But when I'm outside, it does seem to get my location a little bit, better. Podcasts, of course, there's still little bugs here and there, but they're fixing them. As you see, they're continuing to make this device better and better, even after 3 years of having this device. The device just continues to get better instead of obsolete. One thing that I will mention with you is that if you download your podcasts, so if you go instead of, right here, we have all the podcasts that I have. And if I download the podcast instead of playing the podcast right away, it will have a better playback. So you will not have to have that annoying bug that skips it or goes back and things of that nature. So you have that ability right there to download things. So for example, I'll go to my downloads and I can edit them and I can do, all of the different things. I already listened to a couple of these, so let me get them there. Let's see. This one I listened to already, and then I have 3 on my docket. So if you download them, you may have a better usability experience, just a better overall, everything that you do. Right there. Sorry if I'm not clicking the exact place on this. Is when you're not using it, when you're doing. And right there, you have the download sign, which is just way better for usability. Another thing that they changed is with the alarm. Now I believe the power button can cancel the alarm, or the side buttons. All of these buttons can cancel the alarm, so you don't have to actually click the alarming here. And of course, you can create multiple alarms and whatever it is. 726, I put it right there on alarm, whatever. You can create it, and then some of these buttons will now cancel the alarm. You don't have to actually click what you have in there. So again, a lot of improvements from the Lightphone team. It's really exciting that they continue to improve this device and to continue to make it better. So I'm really happy that after 3 years, it has been a great investment, and it continues to do so now with Wi-Fi calling. One of the only phones that doesn't have a browser, that doesn't have a bloated experience, but it does have Wi-Fi calling, group text messaging, and all of the little nice things, usability improvements that are necessary nowadays, especially in low coverage areas. That's it for this little review of this one. I have been enjoying my time with the device even more, that I can call reliably from home. But if there's any questions about this device or any of the other devices that I talk about, make sure to put it in the comments below, and I'll be interacting with you guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your viewership, and I will see you in the next video.